We'll go ahead and start with talking about updates to LIDA.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the emulator. So updates to LIDA this time had a lot to do with performance. So we were really working hard on this browse categories page that you see here, and also syncing Aspen versions because we don't release everything at the same time. Some things get released out through the App Store because different people sometimes get earlier versions of Aspen. We're working on making sure that whatever versions are out in the wild, that they're compatible. We still have a little bit of work to do there, but we've realized that some of the issues that people have been seeing are related to that, as well as performance. But in addition to all that work that Kirsten's done, we also do have some updates to the linked accounts to show you. So you could in the past view linked accounts in Aspen LIDA, but now you can take all of the patron actions. So let's go ahead and dig in. So I'm already logged in as Jordan. I'm going to go into my account, and just to show you, if you haven't seen it, this is the linked accounts page, and I am linked to a patron called SWise. So if I now go into my checked out titles, I have 4 titles here, and you can see that some of them are checked out to SWise, this one, and then the gardening, and then the other 2 are checked out to me. If you wanted to return any of these titles for your linked patron, not just yourself, you can also return those titles and access those titles. We'll show you that in a minute. So your title was successfully returned. Awesome. There is, of course, all of the hold functionality on top of that. So you can freeze and thaw holds. So we have a frozen hold right here, checked out or on hold for SWise. I can thaw that hold. And then we have another one down here for SWise, and I'm going to go ahead and freeze that hold. You can, of course, also change pickup locations. So let's say I want to get this one. Let's do North Branch. Change location. Okay, pickup location is changed. And this frozen hold right here, let's say I actually don't even want that one anymore. I can go ahead and cancel it. So you can see all of those actions that I could previously take. I could take them for myself, and I could see my linked accounts. Now I can take them also for the linked accounts. The same thing works from the search results. Oh, you see where I was finding the book. So I searched for the book, The Vanishing Half. Can click on that, and if I go to new books, that's the actual physical title, I can place a hold, and I now have the option to select SWise, and I'll pick it up at the main library and place that hold. And all of this also works for e-content. So if I search for Gone Girl, go ahead and go in here. I go to the ebook, and I can check that out in Overdrive. And instead of checking it out to myself, I'm going to check it out to my linked account. Check out that title. I wonder if our test server is a little overloaded. It's taking longer than it typically does for the Overdrive checkout. Let me try it one more time. Well, not sure what's going on with our Overdrive connection. You could see me cancel one earlier. I'll try putting one on hold. Oh, I can't put one on hold. This is a test account that doesn't have a lot that can be put on hold. Most of them are checked out. Let's try a different title. I think we have Pride and Prejudice in Overdrive. Let's see. Go to the ebook. Check out Overdrive. Oh, this is the thing with live demos. It will check it out to the title. I have tested it a good number of times. Not sure what's going on with how long the connection to Overdrive is taking right now. But we'll make sure that that's working, or that at least we know that it's a timing problem with Overdrive before we release the code. I think that's all the updates to LIDA, and it looks like we have Mark now. So I will go ahead and stop sharing and hand it over to him.
Thanks, Jordan. Yeah, so on the so for the Aspen Discovery website, so we actually did quite a bit in 220401, and like we mentioned last time, we did a whole lot with some migrations we had. We told you we had an abnormally large number of migrations. Happy to report those all went really smoothly. So it was time well spent, and it also sets us up for some neat functionality in the future. So a lot of what we did in 2204 or 220401 was we did some of that migration work. We did a lot with the Evergreen. So we keep, Evergreen's our newest ILS that we've implemented, and we keep learning more and more about it. So there's some differences with Evergreen that we don't see with other ILSs that we are handling now. So some of those things were just how holds in transit and holds that are ready for pickup show. The way they prompt for notifications for when a hold is ready, they actually like require you to do that at the time you place the hold. So we'll be able to do that. There were some issues with just different mark records and that kind of thing. Also made some updates to the Koha, integration, specifically the purchase request APIs. So for people using the purchase request system from Koha, there were some new APIs available that we were able to take advantage of using. And we had a library that had kind of disabled our ability to screen scrape. So we needed to implement those. So that functionality is already, what you should see there is a little bit faster performance, placing materials requests. And also we were unable to place materials requests during Masquerade. That you should now be able to place materials requests while you're masquerading with for Koha. Then just some other updates for like Sierra for loading reading history. There were a couple of issues there, some other little minor things that we tend to do. We also did get, it's not called out here, but we did some tweaks to MSB and what's the other e-commerce that we finished up? FIS. So those are both working now. So both of those that we did the bulk of the work in 2204, there's some testing that's hard to do without it being on the server, one of the test or production servers. So that's all set. So more e-commerce available now. And then in 2205, again, the bulk of our time was spent with migrations. We did add some new functionality in our spare time. So we added a new block of footer text within the library settings. So that's here. So there's our footer text. If we go into system admin and primary configuration, library systems, and we'll go to our main library, we are able to, under the basic display, we've always had the header text. We now have the footer text. That is a HTML slash it's a text block that you can put other stuff in. So if you want to drop images or anything in there, you can. So free-form text for you to play with there. We also, just a variety of little updates. So like we had some mark records that were marked as a CD, but in reality, they were CD players. So those are all working properly now. Just a few little fixes. The big thing that we did, so web builder and website search. So previously, we've had a couple of libraries notice that, but the custom pages, so the more complex pages that you're building with rows and cells, weren't being indexed. So those are all indexed now. So for people building their entire site within Aspen, we've got several libraries now that use Aspen for basically their entire web presence. And that is all indexed now, so everything is searchable. We also did some updates. There were a couple of cases where if a page was deleted or if you deleted a entire set of website settings, those titles would not be, or the pages wouldn't be removed correctly from the index. Those are all removed properly. And yeah, so just a lot of cleanup related to that. We did also wind up adding, so if we search the library website, we added a couple of new facets for the site name. So these are based off of the sites being indexed, as well as the website type. So if we go into those settings, and then if we do a blank search, we get our regular audience and category as well. But everything is searchable now. All of our public pages or all of our pages are shown. If a page does have restrictions on who can see it, it'll just tell you that, hey, you have to log in or that it's not available to you. So you don't want to share any of the description for protected pages. And if we look at our website settings, and see here's our couple of sites that we're indexing, where they're available. And this name and search category then are the elements that are driving that facet, or those two facets. So that way, if you're indexing 3 or 4 sites, several libraries are, you can really control how those display. I think that's it for this release. So yeah, we're super excited that all those migrations went smoothly. And I will turn it back to Morgan.